Dr. Norman B. Anderson is the Chief Executive Officer of the American Psychological Association, and he has held the position since 2003. He has recently done a video explaining the different stress levels and how it's affecting us in America.
APA has been conducting this survey for a number of years, and the results, particularly in the last few years, are very similar. The punchline is that Americans are reporting that their stress is way too high. This diagram illustrates this. What you see here to your right is what Americans are saying is a healthy level of stress. On a 1 to 10 scale, it's somewhere between a 3 and a 4. They also tell us what their average stress level is, which is in the moderate level. It's almost 6, between 5 and 6 on a 10-point scale. What is really troubling about this survey this year is 66% of Americans are telling us that their stress level is moderate to extremely high.
Some interesting facts about stress. Stress doesn't necessarily cause gray hair, but it can cause hair loss. Stress is one of the main factors causing insomnia and other sleep disorders. When stressors are present, the body naturally heightens its response system, thus leading to wakefulness. According to an opinion poll, the major cause for stress in nearly all countries surveyed is money. Stress poses a great threat for diabetes and heart attacks by altering blood sugar levels. This can cause fatigue, impulsive mood changes, and hyperglycemia. Stress is interconnected with the topmost causes of death globally: accidents, cancer, heart disease, suicide, lung disorders, and cirrhosis of the liver. Some causes of stress: being unhappy at your job or having a heavy workload, working in dangerous conditions, such as being a police officer or working in construction, moving to a new home in a new environment, having a chronic illness or injury, caring for elderly or a sick family member, or a past traumatic event. This chart shows us that Americans have the highest stress levels in comparison to other countries, Australia being a close second and Hong Kong being at the lowest. In America, 62% of workers say their job is the main source of their stress. 1 in 4 workers have taken a mental day off work to cope with stress. One of the main causes of stress nowadays is working. Many Americans work more than 40 hours a week, and I ask myself, why do people need to work so much? America is a very materialistic country, and the American dream has become so big that what people want is the biggest house or the new iPhone or the best clothes. So in order to get these things, the Americans need to work that much harder in order to get the money to pay for it. So do you think that there's a variance in the stress levels compared to the American culture and the French culture?
Yes, I think that maybe when the French are stressed, they're very stressed. For example, when they drive, they're very quick with honking as soon as something's wrong. Whereas I feel that Americans maybe match the stress, at least with other people, a little better.
Like the American life seems more busy than in France?
Mm-hmm. But it seems that still relationships between people are... Stress doesn't seem to affect that in the United States, and you may...
After meeting with my French teacher, she actually emailed me some articles that she found online about how the French are overall a very unhappy country. An article by Richard Brody, Glad to be Unhappy, The French Case. Brody wrote an essay on Claudius Seneca, a French economist who wrote an article explaining that although French have generally excellent material conditions in life, the French are gloomy. Their expectations for the upcoming year ranked lower than Iraq and Afghanistan. French people have the highest rates of mood-altering drug usage. In France, suicide is higher than in any other European country. A person wrote in response to Seneca's article, quote, I know countries incredibly poorer than ours, and yet I can assure you that their population feels less unhappy than the majority of French, and yet they can take it on the chin. But what I have gathered is that even though they have a great place to live and basically everything they need, they are still unhappy people. Through my research, I found that the French work less than 36 hours a week and have 5 weeks of paid vacation. This is the lowest in all of Europe. This makes me wonder if the French people are unhappy because they have such an unbusy lifestyle. I am left with the question of, could having a busy lifestyle be beneficial towards one's mental health? I think there should be a balance. The French are not busy people, and they are considered to be one of the most pessimistic countries. I think that a good balance with one's schedule and being able to manage their time is a very healthy way to live, both mentally and physically.